Much good morning to all. It's my proud privilege to welcome you all to this conference, which is second in the series. Last year we had 2 days conference in the name of BioAg Asia. This time it is a day-long conference, and let me thank you all for being part of this conference, and let me welcome Dr. Ashok Dalwai, who is playing very important role, key role in as the key thought leader in the Government of India policy making. And his presence we can see all over, quite dynamic leadership of Dr. Ashok Dalwai. We all have benefited for quite some time from his being in Delhi, available to most of us in most of initiatives that we take. And personally, I must thank Dr. Ashok Dalwai. Let me also thank Dr. Tarun Sridhar Saab, who has been constant source of support to us all these years, and very actively participating and in all the programs, and also his new extent that we are benefiting by, which is he's regularly authoring a lot of articles on the animal husbandry and related fields. So thank you very much, sir, for being part of our programs and being constant support to us all these years. Dr. M.H. Mehta, in fact, the original idea that emanated was from Dr. Mehta only. He headed the ICFA working group on eco-agriculture. And so my personally understanding of this area initially came from our discussions with you. And I still recall our first meeting in the year 2000 when we hosted the members of Parliament Roundtable on Agriculture, and which we continued for many, many years. So first time you had participated, and then immediately after that we came to Gujarat for a special issue. That time the most powerful bureaucrat in the government, or the non-political person in this government, he was the Additional Chief Secretary, Principal Secretary Agriculture, Dr. P.K. Mishra. So I still remember when I reached there, we had a short discussion. He said, see the Gujarat, and then I want to learn Gujarat agriculture from you. Means what you say, the feedback he wanted. So we had a 2-hour, 2.5-hour long discussion. Today is the most important bureaucrat in the country as a principal secretary to the Prime Minister. So thank you, Dr. Mehta, for being constant source of support and guidance, what all we do in this area. And thank you, Mr. Asudeep, for being part of this. In fact, his organization group, I have been involved from the day one, and very pioneering work they are doing. And my colleague Anjana, let me also thank my colleague, all my colleagues, but especially Vinita. So today's discussion, we all know that the challenges before us are not only the food production to meet the increasing demand of the food. In fact, India long back attained its food security, and even African countries are quite food secure. But the other challenges that we face more, in fact, more than what African countries face. So 3 key objectives that we are part of the agriculture system. Adequate food we need to produce to meet the food requirement and feed requirement of the increasing human population and the animal population, that also they also dependent upon our efforts. The safe and nutritious food, which is a bigger challenge than what the initial challenges that as a country we faced for many, many decades. I think by the turn of the century, in most of the food grains in horticulture and in dairy, we achieved self-sufficiency, in fact, surplus situation. Except oilseed, probably we are surplus producer in almost everything. But in terms of nutritional deficiency, I think 1/4 of the world's undernourished and malnourished we are housed having in our country. So that's a big challenge. And safe food production, this is the theme of today's discussion, which is very important. But equally important is sustainable food production, because of the 3 key challenges that we are facing. One is the climate change, which is there visible. It's no longer the textbook story, but we see all around us that how the extremes of climate change that are posing newer challenges to agriculture production systems. So therefore, so this is one today before the world, before the every one of us, the biggest challenge is how to ensure future food production on a sustainable basis given the vagaries of the climate and the global warming and all the side effects that we see, and weather change that we see, snowfall is happening in Saudi Arabia for the last few years, almost every year. Europe, the temperature rises to 4 degree, 5 degree in one single day. So these are the challenges. Rain pattern is changing. In fact, if you go to Rajasthan in Jaisalmer, last 10, 15 years, heavy rains. In fact, 2 years back, I was going to Jaisalmer from Jodhpur to Jaisalmer, almost 3 hours, such a heavy downpour as if we were in the Cherrapunji. So these kind of challenges are going to pose a big, threat to the food production system, and resulting to that is also the new kind of pest built up. So these are, and then depleting natural resources. So depleting natural resources, climate change, and the new kind of pest built up. So these are the some of the challenges that we'll have to address if we have to ensure adequate food production on a sustainable basis and safe and nutritious food production, which is a direct result of what we discuss in terms of eco-agriculture or organic agriculture or natural agriculture, which is, of course, quite a priority of the government. So this is a very wonderful development that natural agriculture, natural farming, which the government of India is promoting. So there are question marks. In fact, more research need to be done to validate that, because some experts feel that it is reversing the advances made in scientific advances in the last 50 years after Green Revolution, particularly. So going back to the natural system. So I think it is a wonderful concept, but more research need to be done. However, the bioagriculture, which is not as strict for farmers to adopt as maybe organic farming. So eco-agriculture and bioagriculture, these are little moderate concepts where you ensure that minimum possible chemicals are used, and wherever there is alternative available, that must be preferred. So these are not as strict in terms of compliances as the organic agriculture or the natural farming system, but these largely address the objective of reducing the load of chemicals on the crop and making it more sustainable and more nutrition and safe. So this is one concept on which more and more researches are required. In fact, if you look at philosophically, last 2 centuries belong to the advances, scientific advances in the field of physical sciences. So this century and coming centuries, probably more and more researches will have to be done in the biological sciences, and whatever is there in the nature in coded form, these all scientific minds need to go into that to decode the solutions and ensure meeting the challenges that are before us. So last year, the conference was keeping in view to working on the challenges that are there, and working on the possible workable solutions to meet these challenges, and therefore drawing up a roadmap for future agriculture, which is more based on biological inputs, on which we can talk about, but subsequent sessions are going to focus on that, and concept like ecological agriculture, which Dr. Mehta has been promoting about. So let me thank you all. I hope day-long deliberations find answers to some of the challenges that I just mentioned about, but more expert discussions in subsequent sessions. I'm sure that it will be enriching discussion during the day with the kind of sessions and the experts that are part of it. And at the end of the day, at the last session, we expect Honorable Agriculture Minister to be here for concluding session and also presenting the BioAg India Awards. In fact, last year also he was our chief guest along with the Minister of Agriculture of Philippines, William Dar. So we look forward to his presence, and requesting all of you to remain whole day as part of the discussions, and evening particularly be part of it. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. M.J. Khan, sir. In India, it is customary the invoke of blessing by God with the lighting of lamp. So to commemorate our program, I request all the dignitaries on the dais to please kindly give the inauguration for the lighting of the lamp. Thank you so much, dignitaries and the dais. Now I feel proud privileged to call upon Dr. M.H. Mehta, sir, Chairman Gujarat Life Sciences, to please kindly give the address to the August gathering.